Show is brought to you by Bresky Siding.
And good Tuesday evening, Mid-Michigan. Chief Meteorologist Chris Eastlick with your Tuesday forecast update. And another night where things are relatively calm compared to a lot of nights that we've had recently. Doesn't seem like we're looking at anything that's going to be truly noteworthy here in the near term. I think we'll have some nuisance type snow, some nuisance type cold, but right now currently not expecting the level that we'll get cold air advisories or anything like that. And it seems like as we start going into the latter half of this week, we'll start to get a little bit warmer too before a brief cool down this weekend. And then eventually we will start into next week getting a little bit warmer for what looks like maybe multiple days, not just one day in the 30s, but potentially a little bit longer going into next week. So hopefully, for those of you who are hoping for some warmer weather, that follows through. We're, of course, still in the window where things can change, but we always want to at least give you a glimmer of hope this time of year because we know that a lot like winter for maybe the first month and a half, and then it's time to go. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's take a look at the radar tonight. Much more quiet. We've got some flurries and light snow showers out there. Not much of this seems to be really reaching the ground in many places. It seems like a lot of this is evaporating before it gets to the ground. Even the sensor in Houghton Lake really not picking up on much of this. So I would say it's probably a bit more spotty there, but it does look like Cadillac is picking up on some of this. So I think that area that's just to the west of Houghton Lake is probably reaching the ground. But we had some snow showers over Houghton Lake a little bit earlier tonight. Really didn't seem like it was making much of a difference at ground level. So that's kind of where things stand with that. Your sky tracker also fairly quiet tonight around the region, so there's not really any major systems that are passing through the area tonight. But I do expect as we go through the next couple of days, there will be a couple of opportunities for snow. And so let's talk about those right now because those I think are a little bit more important here. As we go through tomorrow, let's just fast forward right to 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. I do think the clouds were a little bit stubborn today, but if you're hoping for a little bit more sun, I think it's possible that we have a better breakthrough tomorrow. We're another day removed from that front coming through, another day of dry air trying to filter in. So I do think we'll have a chance at some more bright skies tomorrow. Is it going to be a perfectly mostly sunny, completely sunny day? I don't think so, but I think it provides a better opportunity than what we saw today. So hopefully that follows through. As always, we'll take what sun we can get this time of year. If we fast forward to midnight, not to skip anything intentionally, but we do need to kind of move into Thursday here before we really see anything. You can notice we cloud up significantly going into Thursday morning, and then Thursday's commute itself really doesn't look all that bad. Maybe a light snow shower or flurry here and there, but it's once we start getting a little bit further into the morning. So this is about 9 o'clock, starting to see some of that snow move in our western counties by 10:30, 11, starting to move into half the area, and even more so by lunchtime, really starting to make inroads. Now, this is a little bit different than yesterday. Yesterday, it looked like, okay, we've got a system coming through Thursday night into Friday. What seems to be developing today is a little bit more of a disjointed system where you get one round on Thursday and then you get another round on Friday morning. We are still expecting that Friday morning commute to be impacted at least a little bit, but there is the potential that we could be looking at sort of a two-part system here with Thursday getting some snow during the day. Looks like that hangs out until about early evening, and then it just kind of fizzles out. And then once we get past that round, there's a chance that we could eventually see a bit of a break going into Thursday night, the first half of the night. Then we start to see snow blossom once again going into Friday morning. There's a more widespread area of snow for the Friday morning commute. And then once we get the cold front that comes through on Friday, then that snow starts to move out and we're relatively calm the rest of the day. I think there could be some showers that kind of linger behind that, but I don't think those are going to be anything as noteworthy as the morning. I think those will be just scattered snow showers here and there. So this is probably, again, more of a nuisance type couple of days here where it's not flurries. It's not going to be something that just comes through and doesn't cause any problems at all. But I don't think it's necessarily something that is going to have a major impact on schools on Friday. That's my thought for now. Obviously, that's subject to change as we go through the next couple of days if we get some better data. And if there's anything that suggests anything a little bit worse than that, of course, we'll let you know on that. But I do think between the 2 days, we'll probably have a more specific map for you tomorrow. Whether we break that down into 2 separate maps, one for Thursday and one for Friday, or if we just do, one long duration one. I do think between the 2 days, most will probably fall between 1 to 3 inches of snow. And if you spread that out over the course of a couple of days, that really doesn't seem all that bad. So I think some slippery roads Friday morning, some slower travel, but also take a look as we go into Friday morning, take a look at some of these temperatures that are around, and then already even by 10 a.m., take a look at some of those temperatures. We're already back in the lower to middle 30s, so it might be a little bit easier to clear once it starts to warm up. You might start to get some assistance. You don't necessarily have that ice underneath. Now, could that be offset a little bit by more of a wetter type snow by that point? Potentially. So you'd want to be careful if that's the case. But you're not going to be finding that rock hard, icy layer underneath, assuming you don't have a big layer there already. So you might be able to get the assistance of some of these temperatures above freezing on Friday late morning and early afternoon that kind of warm things up a little bit, give you a chance to clear it. But then we are watching Friday night into Saturday for a pretty substantial cool down. So we could be looking at some icy roads later Friday. So try to clear while you can early in the day Friday, and try to do it before things freeze back up again going into Friday night and also into Saturday. So I am going to pull our snowfall model up here really quick, and let's just go. I started the clock at midnight Friday. And the reason I'm doing that is Thursday's data with how much snow we're going to see Thursday is kind of all over the map. So what I did is we're going to put Thursday to the side for a minute. And I just want to focus on Friday because Thursday, most of the snow falls during the day when, many of us aren't in that rush hour time frame. Kind of falls between the morning rush hour and the evening rush hour. But Friday has the potential to be impactful. And again, even though I don't think it's going to happen, I do want to at least give you perspective for those of you wanting answers about school Friday. These are some of the totals by the time the kids go out for the bus stops. So this is Friday at midnight. So the very beginning of Friday through 6 a.m. And these are some of the projected snowfall totals during that time. Only about a ½ inch, maybe up to an inch in some spots. Even if we go out until 7, you've still got most of the area between a ½ inch to an inch. Some areas even less. And then if you go even further through the day, you're only getting up to about 1.5 inches. Now again, that's only Friday. So if I were to add Thursday onto this, there could be areas that pick up about 1 to 2. There could be a couple areas that pick up 2 to 3 between the 2 days. But just specifically talking Friday morning for the purposes of that rush hour and for school, I think we'll be able to manage. Icy potentially on untreated roads, a little slippery, of course. Sure, but that is Michigan in February. So I don't necessarily think this is up to the caliber of a first alert weather day or anything like that. So I would allow yourself some extra time, but it's kind of where things stand for tonight. So again, that is just for Friday morning through the commute. And then Thursday, we could add a little bit more before we get there for that, again, a grand total of about 3 inches of snow. So long term here, and I'll check the comments here in a second. Let's see. Good evening, Wendy, Linda, Shelley, Denise, and Megan. But longer term here, this is February 11th through the 17th. We've got a chance for above average temperatures during that time. So like I said, I think we'll have a chance next week to get into the 30s, and that's 30s in addition to what we expect on Friday. There is a brief cool down in between though. So prepare for another chilly weekend. Saturday and Sunday, I think we're in the teens. And overnight lows Friday into Saturday could be pretty cold. We have one there right now. So if you look, we've got one going into Saturday. But I also think it's the potential of winds that could drop us into the cold weather advisory category Friday night. Now, that may not mean much because schools aren't in session, of course, on Saturday. So it might not raise the level of awareness as usual. But I do think if you know anybody who is struggling with heat right now or needs a little help, Friday night into Saturday would probably be the time to reach out to them. And then next week, hopefully, we get some more prolonged above average temperatures. And maybe we start the climb a little bit. And speaking of that, if you look at our high temperature map here, the average high is up to 30. And yesterday it was at 29. So what that means is that we are now on the upward climb with average temperatures. We have hit the coldest point in the year with our averages, and now we are on the upswing. It is a very gradual upswing, but we are on an upswing nonetheless. And so things are moving in the right direction for those hoping for some more consistent warmth. So there's that. But I think that is kind of all I've got for the stream tonight. Lori says, can't wait for the heat wave. We can get a sunburn instead of the wind burn. Yeah, we've had plenty of gusty days. That's what I need to talk about. Lori, you jogged my memory, because we need to talk about the wind really quick. Because Friday could be a little windy. So I don't think it's too bad going through Thursday. I think we could see some gusts with that first round of snow between about 20 and 25. But I do think there is the potential, and this might not go out very far. This only goes out to about 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. But you can see the gusts are really starting to pick up by then. I think there's the potential we could be about 30 to 40 miles per hour on Friday with some of the wind. So just know that too. We'll be able to go through this animation fully tomorrow, and I should be able to give you a better picture. But I do want you to know that the wind is going to be quite gusty on Friday. All right, thank you everybody for joining the stream. Tomorrow night, we will be, assuming everything goes well, I will have the Airborne Angler on here. Marty takes his plane up, and he does a very good service on Facebook. If you have ever seen his posts, he takes pictures of the ice. He sends back reports to his Facebook page. And I thought it would be a great thing to talk to him on a year that we're actually having some really good ice. Last I checked, we're up over 50% with ice coverage on the entire Great Lakes. Now, he, of course, focuses more locally here in mid-Michigan on Lake Huron and the Saginaw Bay, but would appreciate his perspective nonetheless. And so we'll hopefully have him on tomorrow night, and if for some reason it doesn't work out, we'll see if we can get him on another night. So we'll actually have a guest for our Wednesday night stream. That'll start at the usual time, 9 o'clock, give or take a few minutes. Maybe it'll take us a few minutes extra tomorrow to set up, but we're looking forward to that. Marty's a great guy, and can't wait to catch up with him. But we will see you then. Stay warm, stay safe, and have a good Tuesday night.